and I'm here to show you how incredibly easy it can be to make your own probiotic and healthy kimchi. I have already grated all of the bits and bobs that we're going to use to save you watching me grate a whole load of vegetables. With kimchis, there's really no hard or fast recipe. It's a Korean fermented dish, and typically in Korea they use quite big chunks of vegetables, and they would use like a chili powder, and certain vegetables would be like onions and sometimes peppers and carrots. I'm going by the recipe that I just prefer the most, which is it's evolved over a period of time. I like to grate my vegetables rather than having big chunks, so it's a bit more like a kraut than a standard kimchi, but it tastes delicious. First off, I'm going to add some carrots, and then usually we would add white cabbage, but I quite like to mix it up sometimes and add some purple cabbage. Then we're going to add our standard onion. I think there's probably 3 or 4 onions in that. And then I like to add some ginger into mine, so this has already been grated down. I like to add seaweed to most of my fermented foods because it's incredibly good for you, and even more so when it's been fermented. So this is just some organic wild Scottish seaweed. I'm going to add some salt. And then we're squeezing it. So the idea is the salt mixes in with the vegetables. You can see, even with a few squeezes, the water that's inside the vegetables starts to come out. And that's what we're aiming for. Lots of lovely water, so that's what will create our brine. And the more water we get out of the veg, the less likely we're going to have to add any water. And even before we put any spices in or anything, because of the ginger, it's really strong smelling. It actually smells delicious. And now that we've finished squeezing it, I'm just going to add the spice in here. So most people do add chili powder, but I like the flakes. But now what we're going to do is put it into a jar, and these jars have already been sterilised. So you can pick something like a standard jam jar like this, or you could use a mason jar. If you use a mason jar like this, you just need to remember to burp it every week, otherwise the gases build up and you can end up with exploding kimchi everywhere. So by burping, I just mean you literally take the lid off to let the gases out. You can see all the juice coming up, and you want to clean all the bits off from around the sides because you don't want them to potentially get mouldy because they'll be above the brine and then spoil our kimchi. So what I'm going to do now is get a cabbage leaf. Juice from our brine should cover the cabbage leaf, but keep all the little bits down underneath the juice so that they don't go mouldy. Just slowly do it, because otherwise you end up with bits of the kraut, the kimchi spilling out around the sides. Give it a wipe, seal it up, pop it in your cupboard for at least a week, maybe even a little more, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and make sure to burp it every week, just open it to let the gas out, and it's really cleansing and detoxifying, and will give you, help you absorb all the nutrients from the foods that you eat with, and balance the digestive system and a whole host of other things. It's a super good, yummy, spicy addition to pretty much any meal. There you have it, that's your kimchi. It's a bit messy as you can see, but it takes no time at all to make, and it's really healthy for you and your family.